Okay, we're going to do this question 5 from the supplementary paper, the last supplementary paper, 2020. Actually, it's 2021, but let's just give it a try. You're given this point, -1 and -2, and you're asked to find the tangent of theta, the cosine of theta, and the cosine of theta plus 45 degrees. And theta is this reflex angle that starts here and goes all the way down here. But your triangle is kind of based on this little reference angle right here. And we can figure out the whole story. Well, tangent, if it's -1 and -2, you went -1 to the left and -2 down. Well, there's your triangle. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. Well, it's -2 over -1. So the tangent of theta is 2, and it's positive. That's good that it's positive because tangent's positive there. Well, what's the cosine of theta? Well, we're going to have to use Pythagoras to find this distance OT. -1 squared minus 2 squared, that's 1 plus 4, it's 5, it's root 5. And cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. It's -1 over root 5. Okay, the next question, the cosine of alpha plus 45 degrees. Well, your formula sheet says that it's the cosine of the first angle, the cosine of the second angle, minus the sine of the first and the sine of the second angle. That's a formula from your formula sheet. Now, if they say without a calculator, you got to have a special triangle like this, so show that you can do it without a calculator. Well, what's the cosine? It's adjacent over hypotenuse. It's 1 over root 2. Well, there's the cosine of 45 degrees, 1 over root 2. Well, cosine theta, we've already done, is -1 over root 5. Well, the other part, the opposite part of the triangle over here is -2 over root 5. -2 over root 5. So there's your sine of theta. And the sine of 45 degrees, opposite over hypotenuse, it's 1 over root 2. Well, there you go. Now you've got root 5 times root 2, that's root 10, -1, minus 2 is plus 2, -1 plus 2, it's 1 over root 10, or like your calculator would say, root 10 over 10, but that's okay to leave it just like this. This is how you show you did it without a calculator, but putting in 1. If you use a calculator, you'll get root 2 over 2, and I don't know, they might not like that because they want to see you can do it without a calculator. Okay, let's try the next question. 2 times the sine of -20 degrees times the sine of 160. We're going to simplify this. Okay, well, this sine of 160 is really the sine of 20 because that's its reference angle, and it's positive there. Well, look at this. 2 times the sine of 20 times the sine of 20 again, that's the sine squared of 20. Now let's look at this cosine of 40 degrees. Hey, isn't that the cosine of 2 times 20? And you know that the cosine of 2 times an angle is 1 minus 2 times the sine squared of that angle. So the big trick is here, the sine of 2 times 20 is really 1 minus 2 times the sine squared of 20 degrees. Take a close look at this identity, which is also in your formula sheet. Cosine 2x is 1 minus 2 sine squared. And now look at all this. We've got everything in terms of sine squared here. Minus 2 sine squared minus 2 sine. That's plus 2 sine squared. That's just going to equal 0. Your final answer is going to be -1. Well, that's enough for the first video, I think. Okay.